This is Ziggy Berkeley, and you are listening to yet another awesome podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network. And hey, when you're done here, if you like James Bond 007, why not check out my podcast, Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, with new episodes dropping every other Monday on The Fern. And if you're really into James Bond, you can enter the Dial-A-Henchman contest. Want to know more? Go to hermajestyspod.com/contest, and you could win something from the James Bond 007 universe. Meanwhile, enjoy the show.
Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Though April showers may come your way, just for you, just for you. They bring the flowers that bloom in a May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know. It's raining violets, and where you see clouds upon the hills, you soon will see crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for its song whenever April showers come along.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, and those of you who are in between, welcome to another edition of the Idiot Section and the awesome month of April. We hope you have sobered up from the month of March and all of the alcoholic celebrations therein, be it Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day, or the NCAA basketball tournaments. It is time to finally take that shower you have been promising yourself, slug back a 31-ounce Starbucks Trenta black coffee, yes, there really is one, and open your watery eyes and runny nose to the sights, sounds, and smells of April. Now, today's show is being recorded on April 12th and will air hopefully on April 17th. So if you are listening to us and have not yet filled out your 2013 income taxes, then hey, buddy, you are screwed. The government. Today is also the day before Palm Sunday, which incidentally is not a day to high-five your friends and neighbors. Basically, it marks the beginning to Easter, which is the following Sunday, a time to gorge yourself on chocolate, jelly beans, and hide pastel-colored hard-boiled eggs. Just remember where you hide your eggs, or come the month of June, you will have a very unpleasant surprise. Our opening theme song today is called April Showers, and the music was written by Louis Silvers with lyrics by B. G. De Silva. It was first published in 1921 and was made popular by singer Al Jolson way back even before I was born, so you know the song is ancient. My name is Senor Esteban, and my co-host today is Steve-O, and as we discovered in March, each month has its own special and sometimes odd holiday that you can circle on your calendar and celebrate to your heart's content, or ignore completely if you are lazy like me. For instance,
April is Autism Awareness Month. It's also Jazz Appreciation Month, National Humor Month, International Guitar Month, and Lawn and Garden Month.
April is also National Poetry and Poetry Writing Month. It is also Keep America Beautiful Month, so I guess we can trash it the other 11 months of the year. April is National Pecan or Pecan Month, as well as National Welding Month. April is also National Stress Awareness Month.
I'll tell you who has a lot of stress is April is also a Confederate History Month, at least for those who live south of the Mason-Dixie line.
Hey, everyone knows that April 1st is celebrated as April Fool's Day. But did you know that April 4th is National Tell-a-Lie Day? No, it really is.
April 5th was Reading a Roadmap Day, which what you used to do before we had Google Maps and GPS and even the Garmin now.
Hey, April 6th was New Beer's Eve and got its name way back in 1933 when the Cullen-Harrison Act allowed production of beer to resume in the United States with the caveat that beer remain no more than 3.2% alcohol by weight. On April 7th, the act became law and beer production began, thus marking the imminent end of prohibition and the start of many rehabilitation centers throughout the United States.
April 11th is 8-Track Tape Day. What the hell are those? Barbershop Quartet Day and National Submarine Day. So, of course, it could be the day you watch the Yellow Submarine.
We all live in a yellow submarine.
Oh, sorry.
What color?
Yellow.
Oh, okay. Since we and
Or
most
Lello,
of
as I used to
Lello, yeah. Since we and most of our listeners have already missed these fabulous and wonderful fake holidays, this is what you can still look forward to. April 17th is National Cheese Ball Day, and I know a few of them. And April 19th, National Garlic Day. So, whatever cheese balls you have left over, combine with your garlic for a delicious appetizer.
I will say this, though. All you vampires don't go out on April 19th.
No, stay home and just eat your cheese balls.
Now, the first Monday after Easter is called Dingus Day, and it is a weird one.
Now, Dingus Day is actually a fun Polish holiday. It is very popular there and in Polish communities throughout the American states. After the long Lenten holiday, Dingus Day is a day of fun and perhaps a little romantic fun at that. Now, the Dingus Day tradition is there are all sorts of ways for boys to meet girls, but none quite as fun as the frivolity on Dingus Day. Now, guys, on this day, you get to wet the ladies down. And by that, I mean sprinkling or drenching them with water is your goal. Boys chase after the ladies with squirt guns, buckets, or other containers of water and douse them. The more bold and gallant boys may choose to use cologne. Hitting the ladies is also allowed, although it should be done gently, please. And you should strike the ladies only on the legs with switches or pussy willows. But not only that, ladies, you get to strike back as well. Ladies may get their revenge on Tuesday when, tradition has it, the ladies are able to throw dishes or crockery back at the boys. It has become increasingly popular, however, for the ladies to get their revenge on Monday by tossing water back at them as well, or shooting them dead with a registered semi-automatic weapon. Happy Dingus Day, everyone.
So there are plenty more weird holidays to celebrate in April, so check them out and have a blast.
And now, ladies and gents, it is time for our bi-weekly disclaimer.
Whatever you hear us say,
whatever opinions we share,
whatever comments we make,
these and any off-the-cuff remarks, parodies, ad-libs, or conveyances, real or imagined, are merely the opinions, beliefs, and ingenious attempts at humor by the members of the Idiot Section, and do not, in any way, shape, or form, attest to nor represent the views, opinions, or philosophies of the Four-Eyed Radio Network, the Socially Awkward Studios, any of their sponsors, or the innocent bystanders who get caught in the crossfire of pithy banter between the above-mentioned participants of this show.
Furthermore, any and all celebrities' impersonations you may hear on the show, no matter how poorly they are performed, are for entertainment purposes only and are not an endorsement of the show by the poorly imitated celebrities.
This show is for entertainment purposes only. And if you are not entertained, we feel very sorry for you, for we know that you have no humor in your life and that you will die alone and unloved. Hey, that's just the way it is. Now, for those of you keeping track at home, this is our 21st show for the Four-Eyed Radio Network, or the Fern, and I am proud to report that the Idiot Section's registration has been accepted for Phoenix Comic-Con 2014 in the media press category. Supposedly, we will be able to request interviews with some of the attendees, and I already have my eye on some of the folks I'd like to talk to. Folks such as Stan Lee of Marvel Comics
Which
and
I don't
movie
think you'll
fame.
be able to.
Probably not. Mark Shepard, who plays the head demon on Supernatural, and a bad but now dead guy on the show White Collar. I would also like to chat with Bruce Campbell, John Ratzenberger, John Rhys Davis, and David Morrissey, the governor from The Walking Dead. Of course, we will be lucky to talk to the janitorial service crew at the Phoenix Convention Center once they find out who we really are and how bad the show really is, but you never know. Since I have never been to any Comic-Con, I started checking out the people who will be there, and I am learning that if you want an autograph from someone, it's going to cost you some money. For instance, John Rhys Davis, Bruce Campbell, Mark Shepard, and John Ratzenberger all get $40 for an autograph. While I think this is pretty steep, I am prepared to offer our listeners a bargain. If you come to Phoenix Comic-Con and hunt us down and ask us for an autograph, we will only charge you $3. Yep, you heard right. Only $3. And please make sure that you have the exact change, because we cannot break a 5 and there are no refunds or exchanges.
But if you do give us a 5, we'll be more than likely just to accept that as a tip.
So, right now, you may be wondering why we haven't heard from Kyle, because Kyle is taking a break from podcasting for a while to concentrate on other projects. We wish him well, and he will always have a seat reserved for him in the idiot section. So, Steve-O, what have you been up to since the last show?
That seat right now, though, is being taken over by Toby. So he is not on the podcast, but he is just sitting on the chair. I've been up to, let's see, it was 2 weeks ago, but since this is a bi-weekly show, and I will talk about it in the movie reviews, but I got to see Captain America, the Winter Soldier. That was really entertaining. I'll dive more into that later. What else have I been up to? Just getting things ready for Phoenix Comic-Con. Of course, we do have a live show on Friday at 10:30 at Phoenix Comic-Con, and then I will give everyone the details. Well, we've been talking about it on Socially Awkward, but I'll give everyone the details of the room. Cool part is it's going to be in the same exact room that we'll be doing our panel on Sunday morning, I believe, at 12:30 as well, for 101 Intro to Podcasting with the members of Socially Awkward as well. Hopefully, we've been getting a lot of guests on for Phoenix Comic-Con, and also hopefully next year we might be able to get more podcast shows going as well to join, to get their own like live shows going, or even have a huge like 4i Radio Network show, maybe even get in the big hall if we're lucky enough. Of course, Eric has been pushing on t-shirts and buttons and coffee mugs and everything else that's part of the 4i Radio Network. So if you'd like to go ahead and get your 4i Radio t-shirt, coffee mug, he's just doing everything. I like how he did a Letterman jacket, and I was like, why didn't you do a hoodie?
Letterman jackets in Arizona? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm looking at him going, I don't know. But
hey, look, bro, I'm part of the varsity team for the 4i Radio Network, dude. Hey, bro, let's go get some brews, bro. We'll wear our letter jackets, and maybe I'll give it to my best girl, and she can wear it and walk around and go, oh, look, I'm part of the 4i Radio Network.
But, yeah, so if you want to get those, Eric will probably have more of the details on that, because Eric's going overboard, I think. But what about you, Esteban?
Well, I'm still looking for a single-level 4-bedroom home that doesn't suck eggs. We were sent to one in the process of being remodeled, and after remodeling my own place, I kind of have an idea of what cheap and crappy job they were doing to this place. Now, the guy doing the renovations was very nice, and he was, but they were doing some weird things. Like, they took the third-car garage, and they turned it into a room that the guy said we could use for storage. Okay, well,
Couldn't that just been a 3-car garage?
Well, yeah, isn't that what a third-car garage is used for now? The difference is that I would have to go through a door at the back of the garage to get my stuff, rather than just walk right to it and get it.
Yeah.
So now... Yeah, I have to walk all the way to the back of the garage to put stuff in there, and then to get stuff out, I have to walk all the way back into the garage, grab it, bring it all the way out again. So
was the man working on the house Michael Bay?
No, not quite.
That would make he's like, let's take a simple concept and totally screw it up for you.
Now, the other thing, too, is one of the things I've noticed in my own house is my dryer vent exhaust out is kind of a cockamamie way. Rather than just going straight out, it goes in the wall. it goes up to the second floor, and then it goes along the second floor out to the outside, which makes cleaning it a whole lot of fun. Because you got to do that at least every 6 months.
Yes.
Otherwise, you end up getting a bird's nest in it, which actually happened to us.
Cock-a-doo.
So I asked the guy, so I saw the dryer vent, and I says, where does this vent out? Because it was like right next to the garage and stuff. So we go looking for it. We couldn't find where it vented out. So I was like, does this just kind of vent inside the house? He goes, oh, no, I think it probably vents into one of the fan dryer vents. I said, okay. So meanwhile, I'm sitting in the bathroom with the fan on, and all of a sudden I can smell the dryer vent stuff coming. I says, strike three, I think.
Yeah.
Well, good luck cleaning the lint out of that sucker. Now, the other thing he did, too, is he took the white outdoor lights and he painted them black. Okay, so all you have to do is just wait for them to start flaking off come August, rather than just buying new ones and replacing them. Now, I will say the toilets were new, but they were Glacier Bay, which are probably the crappiest and cheapest, pardon the pun about them being crappy toilets, that you can buy. It made me wonder what other cheap or shortcuts they took. I replaced the toilets in our house, but I went fairly top of the line because I wanted them to last.
Yeah.
And if anybody who knows anything about, looking at
if you're going to be sitting on the porcelain throne for a while,
you want to make sure it's as good as an iron throne as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So anyway.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, if anyone steals this from us, we're going to come at you. But come on, make your toilet the Iron Throne.
Oh yeah, there you
from
go.
Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
That's going to be in my new place.
Game of Thrones toilets.
Yeah.
Now from American standards. Now, the other thing, too, is the house actually backed up to an SRP canal that had those giant power lines going overhead. Now, I think my fillings were picking up Radio Free Europe while I was in the house. And then we read in the paper the next day that SRP was going to do something with their canals. And that could probably be why this and 2 other homes on that street were for sale. Well, suffice it to say that I've resigned myself to stay where I am until I am older and more decrepit than I am today. I actually envision myself passing out someday while ascending the stairs to my office and your mom having Alzheimer's and thinking that the dog is now lying on the stairs. The future looks great to me.
Well, soon you can move into the Morlocks place, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, where the Morlocks will eat you. We also moved your smoky sister back to her temporary apartment while they demolish and renovate her old place. And I am now the proud owner of a new queen palm tree, which adorns my back planter. I am looking to years of enjoyment for it. No shout-outs this week for me or you.
No.
But we do have some idiot or fun stories or stupid things that happened to us this week. So, Steve-O, what happened to you?
Well, what happened to me was I was on my way to return Game of Thrones Season 3 to you guys. And on my way there, I was on Elliott, almost getting to 48th Street, and a guy in a motorcycle decided to cut me off, and I was like, all right, whatever, not a big deal. And then I'm going to turn on 48th Street, make a left turn, so I put my signal on. This guy is in the lane next to me and then realizes, oh, I live over here. So he cuts me off again with no signal. And I'm like, okay. So then we're driving down 48th Street. And I'm just, whatever. This guy, he booked it too, as soon as we hit 48th Street. So I'm like, whatever. So I got around one car because he was going really slow. And I'm like, just do the speed limit. So I go behind him, and I can even see still the biker, he's I think
flying down the road.
I think it's 40 miles maybe on
40 miles an hour if
on
you're lucky.
48th Street. And usually you can go 5 miles over the speed limit. So I was probably doing 40. This guy, obviously, I'm thinking 50, maybe 55 at this point. Then we get to the turn area, he was making his turn, and he overshot his turn, and next thing I know, I'm driving by the man falling down on his bike. Now, before I, made any assumptions of anything, I saw he was all right, got up from his bike, and his bike was brutally damaged. It was a nice Harley Davidson, and then I just had the biggest grin on my face, laughing, going well, serves you right. Don't be a dickhead. Don't be a dick. But the funny part about it, though, I was talking to Matt about it, this is the second time I've seen somebody beefed it on their motorcycle, and both times these people were just wearing, jeans and a T-shirt, no helmet.
Ow.
But this is the thing. I'm I would be the kind of guy that would go out, get my license.
Get your leathers, yeah.
Get everything I need to do for a motorcycle. And then I would do a spill like that, and I have the helmet and stuff, and I would end up dead.
Yeah.
That would be that would be the thing. But yeah, that was the idiot I saw this week. Apparently you have an idiot.
Yeah, I have an idiot. Everybody probably saw this in the news, but my idiot of the week is Eric Kaufman, who, along with his wife and their 2 daughters, aged 1 and 3, set sail for an around-the-world trip in a 36-foot sailboat, and who had to be rescued when their 1-year-old daughter got sick. Now, some parents have admitted their admiration for the family for having the courage and determination to follow their dream. I, on the other hand, side with many of the other parents and regular tax-paying citizens who felt that their decision put their daughters in danger, which it ended up doing, and also risked the lives of their rescuers to help this family who, in my opinion, did a very stupid thing.
Now, before you go on more of this, to me, this is kind of something that you would want to do with your wife once the kids are out of the house.
Or before you have kids.
Or even before you have kids, you want to be like, hey, you know what? We've always wanted to do this. Let's do it. And why? And again, this guy's probably a billionaire, I'm guessing, because he has a freaking 36-foot sailboat. So,
well, the thing is, too, that got me about this is the fact that their excuse was they wanted their daughters to see the world. They thought, what a great experience it would be for their daughters to see the world. Okay?
Google.
I don't know about you, okay? But my earliest remembrances from when I was a kid is probably when I was 5 years old. That's the first time I remember, like, pretty much of anything, maybe 4. So a 1-year-old isn't going to remember whether she was pooping in Afghanistan or in, Disney World. Okay, so I'm sorry. Some people feel that the family should have to pay the cost of the rescue.
I think they should too.
Well, which according to some of the experts could total between $50,000 to $250,000.
Which, guess what? You could have used that money to put your kids through college, dumbass.
Pretty much. But rescue officials disagree, saying that they will only bill someone if their request for help is a hoax. One official further said that the last thing we want to do is, if you are in distress, is to weigh whether or not you can afford it because you were afraid we were going to come after you for reimbursement. Now, good riddance, I say. The sad part is that these new celebrity-its, which is my newly coined catchphrase, a celebrity-it, is somebody who's now a celebrity because they basically did something really stupid or foolish. Now, these celebrity-its will tour all the talk shows, probably get a book and movie deal, and in general, be rewarded for being irresponsible and careless.
Well, that's what America has become now.
Yeah, really.
We've talked about this, where if back in the day you would be walking with your child and you would look over and you see like Mr. Johnson driving a nice sports car. Back in the day, your father would look down at you and go, son, if you work hard and you do everything that, you could get a sports car like Mr. Johnson, be successful. Now it comes down to the going, fuck that guy. Why does he have a great car? I'm entitled to a great car, even though I'm working at Taco Bell.
Right.
I hate him, and now I'm going to go key his car. It's like, that's what our society has become now.
Pretty much.
And this is why the terrorists hate us.
Well, I think they hate us for a lot of reasons. That's probably just one of the many. Now, the thing is, you want to go ahead and sail around the world and this and that. That's great. More power to you. But for God's sake, buy some insurance so that if something bad happens, taxpayers like me don't have to pay to save your sorry, stupid ass. Or see all the media attention, multi-million-dollar contracts you will eventually get for some other moronic media outlets who need to feed the equally stupid jerks who want to read about your stupid life story. As of this writing, the Kaufmans were not making any statements, concentrating on the care of their sick daughter. So, welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Kaufman. Let me show you to your table in the idiot section.
Well, I'll put it this way. If you're going to prepare for a trip around the world, you obviously want to get all your supplies and everything ready to go. Now, here's another, I'm going to throw this out here. Now, if you go hiking on South Mountain or any mountain and you aren't prepared, you don't have water, you don't have this, you get dehydrated, you pass out, and they have to call a helicopter service to come pick you up and rescue you, guess what? You have to pay for that. It's not like the taxpayers pay for that. You will be reimbursed for your own stupidity. Now, it's a completely different story if someone fell down the mountain and are hurt and injured and need help. But I'm talking about the people who get up somewhere and go, I don't have any, it's too hot. I didn't prepare for Arizona weather and whatnot. You have to pay for that. So guess what? I feel that the Kaufmans should have to pay for this due to the fact that if I was a father and this happened to me, I'd feel really bad, and then I would have been like, okay, well, I don't want any media attention. I want to take care of my daughters now because obviously this was a dumb idea.
It was.
And I really would not want to have any more media attention brought to my stupidity.
Right. Exactly. Well, who knows? I'm sure they're going to get book deals in a movie. And
Well, hopefully it comes out like the one guy whose child disappeared in the balloon. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one. Well, here's another little nifty little story this week that's kind of been floating around. For those of you who love the taste of yoga mats in your bread, you better run to Subway to stock up. Subway has committed to removing the chemical azodicarbonamide from its bread by next week, an ingredient that drew concern after a food activist launched a petition pointing out that the chemical is also used in yoga mats.
Really?
Yeah, the bread that they use the chemical, and you hear about that.
Talking about eating fresh.
Oh, yeah, really. Now, the chemical is actually banned in Europe because it's linked to respiratory illnesses when it is manufactured or handled in its raw form. And it's also banned in other countries because when broken down, it forms a chemical that is considered to be carcinogenic in mice. And we don't want our mice to have cancer because it costs too much to try to help them.
Well, technically, don't we give mice cancer and then try to cure them?
We do, but sometimes they don't make it. Now, back in the good old U.S. of A., the ingredient is actually approved by the FDA and is used by other chains, including McDonald's, Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, and a lot of the bread some of the supermarket chains make. So, if you need your azodicarbonamide fix after this week, you can try another fast food chain. Now, the chemical actually came under fire because in an industrial setting, it's also used in the production of shoe soles and yoga mats as a way to turn the liquid chemicals into spongy foam. What I love is this is the same FDA that bans some of the experimental drugs that have actually proven to help and cure people because they have not been tested enough. But I guess it is okay to put yoga mat chemicals in our food. Now, Subway said that it has already started removing the chemical from its supply chain as far back as in 2013, a year prior to when the petition was launched. Now, that petition garnered over 96,000 signatures and became a national media story. Subway said the information in the AP report was accurate, but that I can't even pronounce it, azodicarbonamide is a safe ingredient used in baked goods that helps to condition dough to make it more stable so the desired texture and volume can be achieved. It is extremely common and acceptable ingredient that is found in the breads of most chains.
You know what's going to happen, though? People are going to then get the new bread and eat it and be like,
Okay,
this tastes
I don't
funny.
like
I
this
don't
bread.
like this.
Yeah, this is terrible. Well, what I think is funny is, you know what? Yeah, this is a thing that, supposedly helps the bread or something like that. But I also believe that rat poison, when added to dough, will prevent rats from eating it as well. So until then, I will have a turkey and Swiss on the downward dog roll, and my friend will have a meatball sub on the wheat warrior pose 12-inch.
Actually, if Subway was smart, they would market their bread like yoga poses.
Just like that. Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a little section that I like to call a missing link.
All right. Are we finally, is it Chupacabra this week? Let's talk about the missing links.
You know what? No. Well, in the missing links section that I'm talking about, we talk about website links or customer service supporting websites that either don't work that should or take you to some other weird and wacky place that no one should have to see. Now, my missing link actually involves Google, an Android phone, which I believe Google actually writes the software for, and the website Google that I accessed on my Android phone.
Yes.
Now, prior to today's show, I wanted to review the show notes that I store on Google Drive. So I go to Google, click on the little link that shows me all the things that I can get to, hit the Google Drive button, and you know what comes up? 404 error. I can't even get to it from Google. But if I go to Google and I Google Google Drive and it comes up and I click on the link, ta-da, there I go.
What web browser are you using?
Google.
Chrome?
No, whatever Android is.
No, I just meant, on your phone.
Yeah, just the Google thing. So it's like, oh, man. So I just thought that was rather interesting. So thank you, Google, for having your own Android phone app not access the drive that I'm supposed to be able to get to from any of your devices. As I mentioned in our last show, we have been investigating some of the most popular movie themes of all time, and amazingly enough, have learned that many, if not all of them, actually have lyrics that you most likely have never heard. Well, my friends, wonder no more, for we here at the Idiot Section have researched the lyrics behind the theme song to Jurassic Park. And with the new movie Jurassic World soon coming to a theater near you, we thought you would like to hear the theme along with the lyrics that were left out of the movie version. So now, for perhaps the first time, is the first verse with words for the theme to Jurassic Park.
Once, long ago, there were giants who roamed the earth.
They were big and mean. Some were even green, and they learned how to give birth.
Then some guy thought it was cool to clone them all from amber.
He made them female sex, but a smart T-Rex isn't like a salamander.
There are dinosaurs, lots of dinosaurs. Better run before they see
that you're all alone, and you're not at home, and you'll cry,
and be scared, and you'll scream,
call for mommy, and be so terrified that you'll pee.
They might have frog DNA. So do you think that makes you okay?
Well, you're not, you know, 'cause a raptor will go anywhere she wants today.
Clever girl, stupid man. Don't you wish you had a blaster?
They will track you down, throw you on the ground, while your face turns alabaster. There are dinosaurs, lots of dinosaurs. Better run before they're freed.
There are herbivores, but the carnivores are the ones who they will.
There are dinosaurs, lots of dinosaurs. And in this movie, they will be. Well, maybe now you know why they didn't include the lyrics in the movie. Well, what I want to say is while the original Jurassic Park theme was only 5 minutes long, John Williams, the composer, actually wrote a second verse so the following lyrics could be sung while the movie credits ran. Thankfully, Steven Spielberg prevailed and removed that version from the movie, but the lyrics remained. And here is the second verse to the theme for Jurassic Park. Hey, there's a place, a scary place, that is a zoo.
They have dinosaurs, but what's worse is they will all eat you.
It might be cool to chill out with a giant carnivore.
But when he gets out, there can be no doubt that it's you he's looking for.
There are dinosaurs, tons of dinosaurs, and they are all hungry.
They are after you for a little chew.
And a nibble and a bite.
Every morning, noon, and night.
So you better make tracks like me. Some will spit, some will bite, some just may ignore you.
Others will track you down, squash you in the ground, and make you into poo.
Then the moms will chew you up and will feed you to their kid.
And the kids eat slow, and you should know they don't care what they did.
We have dinosaurs, computer dinosaurs, and they are the stars of our show.
We have actors, too, who will die for you. Just watch and wait and see.
Our dinosaurs, way cool dinosaurs, are the best part of this movie. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for reviews.
It's time for the Idiot Section, movie, TVs, and whatever else Esteban has gotten from the library. Reviews! Take it away, Esteban.
Today's movie review is brought to you by your local public library, cable TV, or Netflix, depending upon what I watched and when. Now, my first review, for those of you who have HBO, is probably moot at this point, but I don't have unlimited funds, and I have to wait for the stuff to come to the public library so that I can take it out for free and watch it. So, my review today is Game of Thrones Season 3. I have got to be honest and admit that I don't know who half the people are in the series and what part they play and how their kingdom or treachery affects other political plays for power and so on. For the most part, I just watch the show for the fighting, Peter Dinklage, who plays Tyrion, and his witty conversations, and all the hot chicky baby nude scenes, of which there are many. Thank you, HBO, for making TV interesting again.
I will say this. Matthew and I have gotten to the point where there's way too many characters, so we have now given all of them different nicknames to keep track of these characters.
Yeah, it's got to be the only way to do it.
So there's like the bald guy, who's that eunuch dude, and then we have Littlefinger, who already has a nickname, so we call him that. Then now the new guy, I can't even remember what his actual name, but he's part of the Grey Horns, I think, or something like that. I just call him Dickless now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's actually Theon Greyjoy.
Oh, Theon Greyjoy. That was it. So, yeah, we since we have lost all names of recognition, that was just all these different little... Yeah, the only one I remember is Peter Dinklage character.
Yeah, that's good. Well, what I figured out so far is that the Lannisters, who have more bad guys in their family than all the other realms put together, have pretty much solidified their hold on the Iron Throne after the massacre of Robb Stark, his mommy, his wife-to-be, and baby Stark. I am guessing that whoever sits on the Iron Throne also gets the Iron Chef to cook for them, but that, I think, is another show. Now, even though I haven't a clue as to what is going on, I am very impressed by all of the actors' performances, all of whom seem to be British, Irish, or Scottish, and they are very well trained in their craft. As in previous seasons, people in Westeros seem to keep losing things. Jaime Lannister loses his right hand, Tyrion loses his bachelorhood, Bran Stark is losing his mind to psychic powers and white eyeballs, Jon Snow has lost his wilding buddies and his red-haired girlfriend who likes how and where he kisses her. But my heart goes out to Theon Greyjoy, who lost more than anyone else this season, and who we will probably not be seeing in any more nude scenes with hot chickie babies anytime soon. Theon may want to change his last name to Grey Mood, because if I was him, I would not be in a good mood anymore. Now, while the Lannisters are celebrating the good times that the Starks had at the wedding, the Queen of the Dragons, Daenerys, played by Emilia Clarke, who I will call Dany, is amassing a huge army by killing them with kindness. As she buys or steals slave armies, she then frees them and tells them that they can do whatever they want. But since she has 3 fire-breathing dragons flying over their heads, they kind of choose to follow and serve her. Quite the incentive she has working in her favor, if you ask me. We also learned this season that the White Walkers, who, incidentally, are not to be confused with the alcoholic Johnny Walkers, can be killed with a blade that is hewn from dragon's fire. I sense a collaboration is coming soon between those who have the dragons and those who need the blades. As for the other 2 Stark women, Arya is roaming the countryside with the Hound in search of vengeance for those who killed her family. And Sansa Stark, who sounds more like a USB backup drive than a person, is moping around the castle at King's Landing after being married to Tyrion. I truly hope her character either grows a pair soon, because she is so bland and so boring that if she doesn't, I would like to see her ripped to shreds by a parrot or 2. Just a suggestion, Mr. R.R. Martin. The last episode of Season 3 was quite anticlimactic, especially after what is now known as the Red Wedding episode. But I guess they needed a transition episode moving to Season 4. Season 4 is now showing on HBO, but I will save my pennies and wait another 9 months until I can take Season 4 out of the library. Such is my life. Now, you saw Season 3. What do you think?
I loved it. I do agree with the last episode before, the second to last episode. I felt like that should have been a season finale.
Right.
I do have mixed feelings on a lot of stuff that's going on right now. Like the one girl, I do agree needs to grow a pair. I feel like no one likes the Stark family. I'm starting to believe that Tony Stark should just show up as Iron Man, just start blasting everybody.
Well, I think eventually that's what it evolves to. The Starks realize that, they just keep getting crapped on, and eventually they evolve to being the masters of the universe.
Which sucks with them, because they were the people who did not care about the throne.
Right.
They could have cared less. They even when Neil, the father,
Boromir
took over, he was all like, he was just being just like and he's like, I don't even want to do this.
Hey, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Just let me.
He's like, I just want to go back home. That's all I want to do. So the thing I was actually getting kind of pissed off with Mother of Dragons, actually, I felt like she was becoming a little bit cocky in this one. Now, granted, yes, she's building an army and she thinks she's full of herself. The one thing I did see, though, was when the dragons snapped back at her. And now it's like, can you not control these things as much as you thought you could? So there's a whole bunch of stuff. The biggest thing, I think, in this whole Season 3 was the older woman who was setting up her daughter to marry Joffrey. I think she has a huge plan in place that no one else is seeing. And I also think the father of Joffrey, or what's his face?
Tyrion?
Not Tyrion.
No, Tyrion.
Not the Kingslayer.
He's
like
the hand of the king right now.
The hand of the king right now. I have a feeling he has something in place, too, because he was just all like, how do you not tell me there were dragons? Da-da-da. And he's all like, oh, it's not a big... nothing's a big deal anymore. I mean, I like the actor who plays stuff, but he's like, there's 2 things that are going on with those people that I feel like, okay, there's something that they're not telling everybody else that they're doing.
Well, what's really cool is the grandmother who's dealing with that other chick who's marrying Jeffrey. Her name is actually Diana Rigg, and she used to be like a fantasy girl for me growing up in the 60s.
Oh, really?
Because she was on a show called The Avengers.
Wait, she played...
she was Emma Peel.
She was Emma Peel? Oh,
right.
I thought she looked familiar. That's kind of cool.
And Patrick McNee played Steed, I think. And they played this super
they
spy
played the spy
detective
team,
thing. And she was that was such a cool series because it was like the first British real show that we had. And she used to always dress in leather like Catwoman type stuff. She was just so hot.
No, yeah, I
and it's great
that.
to see her in the show.
Yeah,
again.
so I just feel, and then the one thing I have to say with the Kingslayer, they were trying to make me feel sorry for him this season, and to be honest with you, I was like, no. I'm not feeling sorry. I don't care. You got your hand chopped off. Okay, you're trying to redeem yourself and then saving the one woman and stuff. But I'm like, you know what? I still don't like you. I've never liked you. As soon as I saw you walk on screen, I was like, I hate you.
I want you to die.
So,
but yeah, it sounds like he's back and he's a changed man now.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, but then you finally finished.
But I understand he's not going to be such hands-on anymore.
Oh, you know what was even worse is when he came back to like, hey, do you need a hand?
Hey, you want to shake? Oh, never mind.
Why don't you clap for, if you're happy and you know.
Clap for the wolf man. Oh, you can't do that.
You can't do that. So House of Cards Season 2, I still haven't even watched Season 1.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. This review is on episodes 6 through 13. Now, in my last review, I had only watched up to episode 5 and can honestly say that this show rocks. If you have not seen it or have not watched the final episodes of season 2 and want to be surprised, you better plug your ears now for the next 2 minutes, which you won't do because you got headphones on. Now, the remainder of this season, Frank Underwood, as the Vice President of the United States, is dueling with wealthy, conniving energy tycoon Raymond Tusk for power and influence over the President of the United States. But in the end, Frank wins, and how he wins is not only cool, but very cleverly written. Several times you think the tides are going to turn against him, but he doesn't. We also find out this season that Frank and his wife Claire have a kinky side to them, as they have a three-way with Frank's Secret Service agent to serve and protect my ass. Frank's chief of staff, Doug Stamper, who has kicked his addiction to alcohol in favor of an addiction to a woman he is trying to keep quiet, spies on her and finds out that she is a member of the LGBT community. Unfortunately for Doug, he doesn't care, but as we know, most addictions will kill you, and his addiction to Rachel does just that, and it hits him in the head like a dirty stone multiple times. In the end, Frank Underwood defeats Raymond Tusk and takes over as the President of the United States. We now know that the girl who was supposed to keep quiet is out running amok, and we know that Frank and his wife are into kinky three-way sex, and we also can't wait to see what Season 3 will bring. All hail the Chief, and well done to you, Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is actually they've been getting a lot of awards just for all their Netflix series that are coming out.
Yeah.
And then they did the smart move because now they're getting about 4 Marvel shows that are going to be coming straight to Netflix.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
So they're going to be, so even Marvel is jumping in on getting their universe on and on and on. So you're still watching Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm still watching these shows only because I am learning a thing or two, regardless of how boring Neil deGrasse Tyson is. This week, I learned that the early astronomer William Herschel, depicted in a cartoon set in 1802 on the beach, talked just like Patrick Stewart.
Make it so, number one.
Hard so. And not only that, but he believed in ghosts, albeit those of comic stars no longer with us. I also learned that the stars and light we see in the sky, including that of the sun and the moon, are not real time, and that they are from anywhere from a minute for the moon to 8 minutes for the sun. Our perception of the galaxy, our place in it, and the light we see from it is actually illusion, and there is no set center of the galaxy. Even sitting in our chair right now, we are spinning with the Earth around the sun. We are spinning with the sun around the Milky Way, and we are spinning around the Milky Way around a Mars bar. And, well, you get the picture, that everything is in motion in relationship to other things that are also in motion. That was definitely a whoa moment. I also learned that Albert Einstein, while living in the northern part of Italy, would take trips into the countryside and think about the speed of light and develop his theory of special relativity, in which the only constant is the speed of light. This is the same theory we've heard, that if one twin gets into a spaceship traveling at the speed of light, when he gets back, he will actually be younger than his or her twin. I think Albert should have stuck to the endless pasta bowl and free wine refills that they have there in Italy. This show also went into dark stars, or black holes as we call them today, and discussed event horizons and a bunch of other stuff that I didn't really wrap my head around. Dr. Tyson jumped into his Doctor Who-like spaceship again and proceeded to use special effects from Star Trek to show him fading in and out of the time warp continuum. Once again, I think the show presents you with a ton of cool information. I just feel it jumps from one thought to the next with a cartoon thrown in to keep dummies like me focused, but I still get lost. I think Cosmos is a good series. I just don't think it's a great one. Now, as for you, I understand earlier in the show you had mentioned that you were one of the fortunate individuals to go see Captain America Winter Soldier. How was that?
It's really good. Everyone was asking me if it leads up anything to Galaxy of the Guardians, which is another Marvel movie that will be coming out in August. This actually lays a lot of groundwork for Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. Now, I'm not going to give away too many spoilers because a lot of people have not seen the movie, and especially when people watch the trailer and were like, who is this person, the Winter Soldier, realizing that a lot of people have not actually read the comic book series of Captain America. So to drop this on them would not only ruin spoilers in the movie, but other things. Now, it starts off with Captain America is now working for S.H.I.E.L.D. He is doing other signed missions off the coast of different country. He gets called to go take care of something on a boat, takes care of a bunch of people, then realizes something else is afoot that's going on, as you soon discover that a couple of things start happening. Now, big things happen to S.H.I.E.L.D. in this movie. A lot of conspiracies, a lot of different...
Now, is this the show?
No, this is the
movie.
This is the movie, but
S.H.I.E.L.D.
after the movie came out, the entire series of S.H.I.E.L.D. changed as well because of all the stuff that happened in the Captain America movie.
Oh, so they tied the two together?
Well, they have to now. So there's going to be a whole... So I'm curious if this is going to change the new flow of the S.H.I.E.L.D. show, which I actually ended up stopped watching at a certain point because I was kind of like, meh.
Yeah, I stopped after the first show.
I tried to give it a couple more, and then I just lost interest, and other people were like, you really need to get on this. I will say this, they do a lot of name-dropping. Characters you are familiar with, such as Samuel Jackson makes the joke of, oh, yeah, we had Stark take a look at our engines, and he provided some stuff. So they do mention, funny things like that and Banner and things, all that kind of stuff. But they do drop a lot of new names of other Marvel characters. One of them they was talking about when a certain part of the movie happens. Spoilers. Now, I don't know if you know this character. A lot of other people know this character. But they do mention Stephen Strange. If you don't know who Stephen Strange is, he's also known as Doctor Strange. So they are linking that stuff into the movie as well in the Marvel Universe. I will say this. The post-credit scenes, there are now 2 at the end of the movie. They do a couple of credits, and they show you something. That one, they show you one little thing. You're kind of like, okay, so-and-so is going to play another role in this somehow. But then they show you something else that is gearing up to the Age of Ultron, which you're just like, this is awesome. I would say the post-credit scenes, after all the credits go, wasn't really anything special. It was just kind of like, okay, you're just wrapping this kind of things up. So the movie ends with a lot of crazy stuff happening in the Marvel Universe. A lot of Easter eggs get dropped in the Marvel Universe. But yeah, I would definitely, if you love Captain America 1, I would think you really will enjoy Captain America 2. So definitely check it out. And yeah, I'm probably going to go see it again because I want to go see it again to see more of these Easter eggs that you either missed.
Wow. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it once it comes to the library. Because that's how cheap I am. No, I don't even like the movie experience anymore. Every time I go to the movies, I always have somebody that annoys me.
Well, when I went at they were doing, instead of someone when they invited, they were like, hey, we're going to get a group together to go see Captain. I'm like, I'm not going to a midnight show. I'm like, I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this shit, Riggs.
No, when I was your age, our midnight shows started at 9 o'clock.
But now there was an 8 o'clock one, so I was like, oh, okay. So we went to Madcaps on
Madcaps, yeah.
I think it's off of the 202 in Dobson. So, yeah, it was an 8 o'clock show, went there, which is funny because they had 2 people dressed up as the Winter Soldier and Captain America. Now, when I was walking to the theater, Captain America was so graciously to hold the door open for me.
Wow, that was nice.
So I was all like, thanks, Cap. And then he didn't respond to me. So I go, and this is why the Winter Soldier is going to kick your ass. And then he didn't like that. And then I had to punch Captain America in the face. So guess what? He is not a super soldier. He went down like a ton of bricks.
Oh, man.
So
that's sad.
His super soldier serum did not work.
Well, it wears off after so many years.
But yeah, no, I highly recommend it. And yeah, I do agree. There's certain parts where movies, the experience can suck, but I'm starting to believe if you go to these kind of shows where not too many people are bringing their kids, you should be good.
At midnight, they're bringing kids to midnight showing?
People have done that. It's so stupid. But this one was an 8,
Gee,
which is fun.
I don't suppose they have a 36-foot sailboat that they take them around the world in, do they?
Well, this is what I love, though. We went to the 8 o'clock one.
Yeah.
No kids. But I've gone to midnight.
That's probably because they hadn't come back from soccer yet.
Yeah, probably. But I've gone to midnight show. Like, I remember when I saw Iron Man 3 at a midnight show. There were kids. I was like, really? But this is how it is.
Oh, well. Yeah, life would be good if it wasn't for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's zombie time, bitches. Since our last show, the season finale of The Walking Dead has premiered, and we are all left to wonder, what the heck are we going to do until October when it comes back on? Well, to help ease your angst and to recap the final season, here is a little section we like to call Christopher Walken Dead. Mr. Walken,
Hello.
your thoughts on the final season of The Walking Dead?
It's great to be back in the studio. I won't be back until October, so it's going to be weird. Here we go. Let's as we saw from the show, no one ever really dies on The Walking Dead. They either come back as a hungry zombie or in a flashback to happier days. The show begins with Herschel bargaining with Rick to become a farmer when what Rick really enjoys is killing zombies. And who doesn't? Eventually, Herschel shames Rick into becoming a farmer when he shows him that a little deranged, murderous maniac Carl is becoming and that farming is the only way to make him normal again. Yeah, we know how that turns out. We flash back to the present, where a guy becomes the main event for a zombie banquet and screams for help. Carl, foolish child that he is, runs to help the dinner. But father knows best, and Rick pulls him away from what would surely be a second course. Later that evening, while Carl has sweet dreams, Rick and Michonne, little pillow talk under the baddies, come out from the bushes and terrorize Rick and threaten to do awful things to Carl and Michonne. Daryl shows up, but even he can't help them this time, and Rick goes ballistic, giving his tormentors the worst hickey ever, and using Carl's tubby bad guy as a pincushion for a big knife, and puts more holes in him than Swiss cheese has. Rick is finally back from Pussyland. After a good night's sleep, Rick and Daryl discuss their experience, and Rick tells Daryl that, "You're my brother." And Daryl, it sounds like Rick said, "I love you." And although Daryl likes Rick and everything, he isn't sure if he likes Rick the same way as Rick likes him. I think this is going to get complicated. Carl is having his own issues, and after seeing his dad, but Mr. Fatbelly like a fresh trout, he is afraid and becoming a monster just like him. Michonne talks him down from the ledge, sharing her own monster instincts and proving that he, too, can be saved. Good thing, because he could become any monster. Ow! When they finally get to Terminus, they go in through the back entrance, which is just a hop over the fence, and they scout the place out to see if it's safe. The people they meet seem nice enough until Rick realizes that one of the Terminus has Glenn's watch, and one of the Terminus women have Maggie's pouch. Rick freaks, and the whole group attempts to flee, but they are surrounded by guns-wielding ruffians too, maybe. They could be on roofies, we don't know. Who have the same shooting skills as an Imperial Stormtrooper, so no one is hit. Eventually, the Terminus forces them into a boxcar in the train yard, and surprise, they find Glenn, Maggie, Bob, Sasha, Abraham, Rosita, Mullet Man, and Tara, Eugene, that's his name. While everyone else is in the boxcar and soiling their pants, Rick says they're gonna feel pretty stupid when they find out. Find out what? Abraham asks. They screwed with the wrong people, Rick replies. It's nice to have Rick back. Now that's my recap. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Walken, for your recap.
I'll have to be walking out.
Okay, well, walk this way.
Now, my thing is, I know Bob's in the cart with them right now, but I have a feeling that Bob might actually be part of Terminus.
Oh, maybe you let him there.
Because, I mean, he did have his whole backstory when he was talking about, I'm the only one that survives. But to be honest with you, he's the kind of guy that I do not see surviving in a zombie apocalypse due to the fact that when you got to see a little bit of his backstory, all he cared about was drinking, and he really didn't put too much effort into hiding from zombies.
That's true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are still listening to our show, you will be pleased to know that it is now over. You are to be commended for your diligence and stoic nature, sticking with us for as long as you have. Not many people make it to the end of our podcast, at least not without biting into someone's jugular vein. Well done to you. If you live here in Arizona, you know that spring has sprung, in that our 90-plus degree temperatures have arrived and 100-degree day. Actually, we don't, because once we hit 100, we start hitting 105, 110, 115, 150, and so on. As the warmer temperatures arrive, you will want to stay inside, crank up your AC, and an internet-connectable device that will allow you to download and enjoy our show. Nothing laughs in the face of unbearable heat like a good chuckle from the idiot section. If you purchase merchandise using Amazon.com, please continue to do so by going through the Socially Awkward Studios website and clicking on our link to the Amazon site. Rumor has it that by doing so, Amazon will give us an infinitesimal portion of the amount you spend, and it adds nothing to the cost of the product to you, but, from what I am told, provides some funding to the network. Either way, thank you for your support. If you would like to send us a tweet, look for @TheIdiotSection and tweet away. Also, please like us on Facebook at The Idiot Section. Last time I checked, we were at like 51 likes, so thank you to everyone who has liked us. And remember, one day you may not only like us, but love us. Please visit our website at www.theidiotsection.com to check out this and previous shows, as well as silly items we have posted so we don't have to do real work. We will update the site periodically, so check that out. Tune in next time when our crack team uncovers the lyrics to the Superman March theme. It will be like kryptonite to your ears. Thanks for listening, and talk at you in 2 weeks.
Though April showers may come your way, just for you, just for you, they bring the flowers that bloom in a May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know. It's raining violets. And where you see clouds upon the hills, you soon will see crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for its song whenever April showers come along.
This has been another fine production of the 4i Radio Network. For more great shows, check out www.4iradio.com.
Hi, this is Jeff from the 12A Podcast. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this show, please make sure to check out more on 4iRadio.com.